Hey, what's up? Welcome to Mevo Live. My name is Will Kirkpatrick, and I am joined today with Joe, the senior technical specialist for the Mevo team.
Maybe,
Let's see. How you
potentially.
doing, Joe?
Well,
Hey,
it currently looks like I've got a completely black screen, but uh, we're gonna get this figured out. It's because I'm using the green screen, and as soon as I enabled the green screen, it went black. So kind of not the greatest uh,
Nice.
outcome. But I'm gonna try to get that sorted out. But for now, why don't you go ahead and do an intro, and I'll come back when I get this resolved on my side.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, so everybody, obviously, if you're new to this show, welcome. The show is all about asking us any questions that you have about Mevo, about live streaming, production, setup, all that stuff. We try and answer the best that we can. Right now, we are trying to do a new thing today. We're using green screen technology across the board. So that's why you see my microphone flickering a little bit there. Um, so basically, the great thing about a lot of video chat applications nowadays is they let you implement that green screen technology, which is nice because you can pretend that you're, at the office or in the bat cave, really, whatever you want to do. And Melon is really cool because it integrates that same thing. So even though the Mevo doesn't have any sort of green screen or chroma key technology built into the Mevo itself. You can still use the Mevo with many applications like Zoom, Melon, and I think Skype has it as well. Obviously, OBS and Streamlabs OBS have it also. So lots and lots of options, and it really just kind of lets you do some cool things. And we wanted to explore different ways to do chroma key technology with the Mevo. So right now I'm using the NVIDIA broadcast application, which is really, really good because right now I actually don't have a green screen on at all. Like it's my regular room right now behind me. And so NVIDIA broadcast, as you can see, does a really good job locating where I am, where my chair is, and even, you can see through my chair into the bat cave behind me, which is a little bit crazy. But it's very, very cool. And the only requirement to use NVIDIA Broadcast, which is a free application, is an NVIDIA graphics card. So I highly recommend checking it out if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. I think it's as long as it's an RTX NVIDIA graphics card, you're good to go. So yeah, definitely check it out. Let's see. In terms of setup, I'm using a Mevo Start right now, which is connected to my Windows 11 PC via wired webcam mode. We've been trying to use wired webcam mode more and more. It's really nice to have the super low latency that you have with wired webcam mode, especially when you're doing this back and forth kind of conversation that we're having. And it's of course nice to be hardwired just for that sake of being just extra secure in that connection. And so I'm using the Mevo Start, and then I just got a Go XLR Mini, which is really nice because it'll control not only my microphone input, but my system levels as well. And you can also change um, different effects and levels in it. So you can be a lot more specific with the changes that you're making, which I couldn't do before with my M Audio. So really excited to be testing out the Go XLR Mini. What is up, Joe? I see you, man.
I'm back. I had to give up my green screen dreams. It's just not in the cards for me today.
That's too bad, man.
Yeah, I'll have to, report some. I don't know. There might be a bug, but I don't know. I don't know whose side it is. It could be the computer, could be the cable, could be I don't know. Could be anything. So, but I'm glad you got to make it to the Bat Cave. I didn't get to do anything fun today, but
Oh wow.
hanging out with you is fun. That's what I'm here for.
Thanks, man.
For my setup today, I'm actually going to be using a Mevo Start. I'm going USB wired webcam mode into Melon. For my microphone, I'm using this blue baby bottle that's going into a Go XLR. and that's going into my computer, and everything is wonderful, just absolutely fantastic. Uh, but you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I wanted to, like, a lot of people have been talking about the green screen stuff lately, especially with Mevo. A lot of people bring it up. Want it in the app? How can I do it in Streamlabs? How can I do it in OBS? How can I do it? Whatever. So Melon's got it built in, like you've shown. Of
Right.
course, you're using NVIDIA as well, but there's various other ways to kind of execute green screen when using Mevo. So we really wanted to kind of show that off today. And yeah, it's so weird watching it. Your microphone kind of looks like a lightsaber.
Right.
Like, zoom.
Pretty trippy right now.
Yeah. Speaking of lightsaber, I know this is completely off topic, but I've seen a video on YouTube. This gentleman, I think he was in Ukraine, built an actual lightsaber that like
Seen
melts
that.
through, it like cuts through steel, which is pretty cool.
We need one of those.
Yeah, but then he had a video of like the bloopers, and it was like, yeah, this thing could explode in your hand, and I'm like, I don't, I don't want that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome, everybody, please put your questions in the chat as it says above me here. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have, whether that's Mevo related, Melon related, Logitech C related. We're happy to answer any questions. And thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're watching from, and let's go ahead and scroll through this. Oh, here's one. This is a good question. Shane says, "Hey, Will and Joe, guys, question: can we add videos into our live stream without using software like OBS or StreamYard?" Currently, you are unable to do this with the Mevo without additional software. However, if you go to mevo.com and go to the multicam applications page, you will see that this is a coming soon feature that we are actively working on video playback within the Mevo multicam application. So if that's something you want, that's something that's coming down the road. But as it stands right now, that is not a possibility.
Yep.
Nice Batman shirt, Will. Let's see what else we got going on today. What a week. It's been a great week. We were very productive yesterday. I don't know about you, but I slept really well. Clearing out that warehouse, I think I actually slept through my alarm today.
Admittedly, I'm a little sore today, man,
Yeah.
which is sad.
I'm sore when I think about doing physical activity. Awesome. Let's take a look here. Dave says we have 2 Mevos with our church's Facebook page. All that is fine. I want to get a third to set up a Chromebook. Will there be any problems? Yes. Chromebook does not work with Mevo apps. We do not support Chromebooks. Some users may have mixed results with Chromebooks because although they are based off of the Android kernel, they are not all the same. So you can't expect Chromebook to like function exactly like an Android phone would from like Samsung or something. So you could see mixed results, but you can absolutely add a third camera. Just don't get a Chromebook to control multicam.
Right.
Yep. Let's see here. Ramiro says, "Hey guys." A lot of people said hey. So you got Heine saying hello, Dave saying hello from Pennsylvania. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. What is the max size for the SD card slot?
So we don't recommend using anything over 512 gigabytes. And we always recommend known brands. A lot of people will try and go for kind of no-name brands to save a little bit of money. But unfortunately, when you do that, you have a much higher risk for losing that data. It'll get corrupted and messed up, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting the other day. Somebody was kind of, I don't want to say we were going back and forth about it, but somebody was talking about their SD card. It had worked for a year and it failed. And then they sent me a picture and it was a no-name brand, like a $20 card that was a 1 terabyte card from Amazon, no name on it. I mean, I'm shocked that they got a year out of it, but if you care about your content, don't use cards that have, like, if they're not even proud enough to put the brand on it, then it's probably not worth your time even using.
Yeah.
I mean, you might save $1 now, but you're going to save yourself a headache later, when you're reaching out to support trying to recover files because your card failed.
Yeah, I had somebody that recorded an entire weekend's tournaments worth of games using a 1 terabyte card from like, I don't know even where, but they said they got it for like $20. If you get a 20 1 terabyte card, you know it's gonna lose all of your data. So definitely don't do that.
I'm not quite sure what the policy is on making comments on other websites, but don't buy SD cards from wish.com. Like, it's just not a good idea. It's just not good. Stick with Samsung, stick with SanDisk.
Yeah.
Just don't go, like, if you care about your production, you care about the content, you got to care about how you store it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
cool. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Hello, hello. Ramirez says Brooklyn in the house. Just it's too funny, that lightsaber story. Made it to Chicago 9 p.m. news the other night. Yeah, so that was like a pretty recent story then. That's what it sounds like. Because like I had just seen it. And so
Yeah.
it's probably not a coincidence. Pretty crazy. Art's asking, would that be from the SD card? I'm assuming he's asking about the video. I'm gonna guess no.
What's that?
If we're gonna have video playback, it's probably gonna be from the mobile
Um,
device, just like everything else is for multicam.
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Adds up. Let's see here. Yeah, actually, Joseph made a great point. We did not mention that we were using Light Your Glows. If you haven't seen about the Light Your Glow, we'll show you a really cool video about Light Your Glow here soon. But that's really making an effective green screen, at least for Will. I don't have mine. Feels bad. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. This was a common question at one point. Ramirez says, guys, is there a chance to upgrade from a 1 start Mevo to a 3 without ending up with 4 or buying 2 separate ones? No, there's not. There is not. It's 3-pack or bust, essentially.
Yeah. You could always get a 3-pack and then sell one
One of the
or
brand new ones. Yeah.
give away, something like that.
Yep. Yeah, you got to remember too, like some of these can be used, or these can be used as webcams. They can be used for a lot of stuff. So, you don't necessarily need to have all of them on the go. So if you might, and having a spare has never hurt anybody either. If you notice one drains or something, or you forgot to charge one, having an extra never hurt. It's always a good idea.
Yep.
This is another popular one. Will, what you got for him?
Watching from Covington, will Mevo multicam support more than 3 cameras in the future? I would say it's very, very likely. It's not something that we have set in stone right now, because we do want to make sure that it is super stable and you're not losing cameras or having your device just not having the processing power to do it. So it is something we're looking at and something that we all really want, but we want to make sure that it's safe and that it's not going to mess up your streams.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Last thing we want to do is advertise, a 3 or a 6-pack, and someone goes and buys it and says it doesn't work, and it's like, well, it works. It just doesn't work with your mobile device. Like,
right.
It's very strict. Like, and I had somebody reach out the other day, and they were using like an Android 7, and like multicam, I think requires Android 7.1 or something.
Yeah,
maybe it's 8.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they're like, well, if I can't update anymore, then what happens? And I'm like, honestly, like at some point, it's just not going to work with your device. Like you can continue to use what you have installed, but at some point, like your device is just not going to work. Like there is no alternate path here. You have to meet the requirements to use the applications. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And also, on the other end of the spectrum, right? Like obviously, if your device is underpowered, then it's not going to be able to add more than 3 Mevos or more than 4 Mevos or whatever it is. But if your device is the top of the line, which allows you to do as many Mevos as possible, then that's also just very, very expensive. So we got to find a good balance between those two.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how the team would monitor that. Like if they would be like, we're seeing lost data, lost packets, lost frames. And then like, kind of like what we do now, we tell people that the network is too slow. Maybe we just say, your device isn't capable. Think of removing one of the devices to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Dave says, I want to use the third Mevo for Zoom, so I'll need to use a laptop. So if you want to send multicam to a computer, if you want to use multiple cameras on a computer, then yes, you would need a computer or a laptop or something similar. Multicam does not currently go to conferencing platforms, so yeah, you would need a computer to kind of be the middleman for something like that. You can use Streamlabs. You can bring all of them in as wired webcams, or you can bring them in as NDI. Um, and you can basically use Streamlabs' virtual webcam output and use that as the camera source and Zoom. So I know a lot of people who are doing this successfully, but I also know a lot of people want to be able to output from multicam to Zoom directly. So
For sure.
That's great news. I'm assuming this is about his previous question. So glad it's making everything easier for you all. Let's see, any recommendations on 360 tripods? You mean like a tripod that rotates?
I mean, I think that's like every tripod, right?
Yeah, but I wonder if he means like automatically or like motorized. If you could provide some clarification what you mean by a 360 tripod. And honestly though, like even without it, like I have no real recommendations. Like not a huge tripod person. I mean, I use Mevo stands. But I don't really have much background on other tripods.
But the good thing about the Mevo is, you can do basically any tripod.
Yep.
Any standard quarter 20 works great. Even the mic mounts work great. So you have lots and lots of options.
Yep. Art said had to mute. Not sure if you answered my question. We sure did. Yes, it's going to have to be on the mobile device most likely because that's exactly how graphics are handled. So if graphics need to be on the mobile device, I would imagine a video would also need to be on the mobile device. But
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean that's a feature that's not out yet, and so I really can't give you much insight on exactly how that'll be executed. But if trend continues, then that's how it would be done.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Benjamin, I don't think I've seen you around, so welcome to the show.
Yeah, right. I love that. Like, we have so many regulars that we're getting to know them really well.
Yeah. So it's like we know when someone who's not been here before.
Speaking of, where's Fred?
Yeah. What in the world, Fred? Anyways, Benjamin, did my first 3 Mevo start Twitch streams using OBS and NDI for V Wi-Fi and worked a dream. Looking to do more mobile stream and wondered if you had come up with a solution of your LTE dropping. We don't. The solution of Mevo's LTE dropping or your mobile device's LTE, because the Mevo doesn't provide any LTE. Right. So I mean, there's no solution to solve your phone's source. Like if your phone has bad signal, or the thing is, and I used to have a really good presentation on the slideshow. It talks about the difference between strength and speed and the noise around you and the load of the towers. Unfortunately, there's no way for you to control that. But there are other things out there like bonding services that people have used that bond 2 different connections to kind of take both of their uploads and then use them.
Right.
But we have no experience with those. But
yeah, I mean, you could also test different services.
Yeah,
because you might have a bad signal with one service and then a much better one with another one. So I would explore that a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to kind of boost your cell phone signal.
Yep. Yeah, if you go to the Mevo customer group on Facebook, you could probably look up Speedify, and I think some people have vouched for that, and maybe even shared some coupon codes. That maybe that'll bond some services for you as well. So lots of things that people have tried, but in the end, you're still kind of at the mercy of your provider and who's in the area and tons of stuff. So,
right.
Norman says, I did my first large meeting on our Logitech tap system at work, and the whole time I wished that our Mevos could be used as the main camera with the tap system. Logitech tap. Sorry, I personally don't know everything that we offer.
Yeah, a lot of the business stuff we haven't really gotten enough exposure with. We were just talking about the Rally Bar the other day, though. We wanted to mess around with that.
Yeah, and then that one PTZ camera was called Rally too.
Yeah, And that must have been like an earlier model of the Rally or something like that.
Yeah. Is that Rally bar? Does that have a PTZ camera in it?
Yeah, yeah. In that video, at least, yeah. It was
Yeah.
looking around
All
the
right.
room.
So
Yeah.
Logitech Tap IP, for anybody who's curious, it deploys video meeting rooms at scale with Logitech Tap IP. A touch controller that delivers the simplicity of one touch, join, and consistent experience across all video conference rooms with a single PoE cable. I lost my. Oh, an available table, riser, wall mounts. It can be conveniently installed anywhere in the room. Meetings start with one touch. That's cool.
That is cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean, we've talked about it a few different times about wanting to get involved with other areas of Logitech and how we would all like to work more and more together. We've only been with the company for, we're coming up with our anniversary of our acquisition next month.
Yeah.
So, we've only been with the company for just under a year at this point. So I would expect Mevo to be integrated with more and more and more and more as time moves on. But as it stands right now, I think our priority is just multicam. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we appreciate, wanting to use your Mevo. And if you have other ideas, because we're still learning about a lot of these things, like we don't know about. And I mean, I'm on Dell's website looking up this Tap IP thing. So if there's other ideas of integrations you'd like to see Mevo and other Logitech projects, let us know. We can share that with the team and see how we can potentially fit that in timelines.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, love it, Mike. That's great. So Mike recently switched to Mevo after using a product that we do not talk about for years. No questions. It works very well and easy to learn. I'm glad the Mevo is working great for you.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Mike. Thank you for sharing. Okay, here's Shane giving us clarification on that tripod. So he means like an automatic 360 stand, essentially. And it was like the Pivo.
Pivos, yeah.
Yeah, which I'll never forget the name because Mevo, but
Right.
so there's a Pivo. It's like it attaches to the top of any stand. And I think it comes with an app and maybe just a remote.
Yeah.
Once again, if you're in the Facebook Mevo customer group and just type in Pivo, it's Pivo. I think Pivo.
Yeah, right.
And you should be able to see some pictures and people talking about it. We don't own one, so we can't speak on it, but people seem to like them.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Best settings for zooming in a Mevo Start without picture distortion. That's tough. Unfortunately, the Mevo is always going to have a little bit of distortion when you're zooming because it is a digital zoom versus an optical zoom. So kind of the best setting would be to not zoom in very much. Like right now, I would say I'm like zoomed in like maybe 10% or something like that. And that's pretty much as far as you want to go.
Yeah. Now, lighting will help, which is a good time for us to kind of go into that video, show you guys what that's all about. I think that's I have over here. So lighting will help. Right now I'm using some Lighter Glows that will increase the quality. So if I zoom in, this is like my max zoom on my face, and it doesn't look terrible.
No.
It actually looks pretty nice. So if you have some stuff in my beard, I look like dog hair. That's what happens when you have a husky. So you can zoom in quite a bit. There's a Lighter Glow right there. Boop, boop, boop.
Nice.
We are technically sold out right now, but if you go and reserve one of yours on Logitech.com, I believe, or you could just Google Lighter Glow, and you can get your hands on some lights that'll improve your zoom. And if you weren't here for the show, I'm kind of unsure. I think it's the Make a Scene video. I'm going to go ahead and play it, but let's do an overview of the Lighter Glow real quick. I love watching our ads for different products. It gets y'all excited.
They kill it, man. They do a
Yeah.
great job.
It just makes you proud of what we're doing. But anyways, so obviously Lighter Glow is one solution if you're at a desk, if you're at a laptop or something you want to zoom in. What's great about the Lighter Pro or Lighter Glow is that it actually does unmount. So it doesn't necessarily need to be on a screen. You could technically, and I had one mounted over there. You can mount it to a camera. You can mount it to a stand, and it's got a quarter 20. So if you need a portable light solution, this is it. The Mevo actually powers this as well. So if you
Right.
plug this into the back of the Mevo, you can power this. You don't even need an extra battery power. So or source. So if zooming something you want to do, blast some light at your subject, and it should increase some quality. Thanks for the question. It is a good segue into talk about lights because it's important. Very important. All right, let's see here. So I gotta go back up and find out where we left off. Yeah, the dreaded HDMI question. It's been a topic of conversation here lately, and I am curious as well if as many people who ask us for an HDMI out, if they go to like Atom Mini and they're like, do you guys intend on integrating NDI or USB webcams?
Yeah.
Like, do they like, instead of asking the cameras to switch, maybe the software could take more input options as well. Or we could all work together and play nice. I don't know about near future, and I don't know about any plans for an HDMI out on a Mevo. I mean, it's not impossible. Our engineers are extremely talented. I'm sure they could make anything possible if they really wanted to do it. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, sure.
I just think the thing is about Mevo, and the reason it hasn't happened is they're compact. Like if you ever you don't do this, but if you ever had one opened and you've seen the inside, because we've seen the inside of these things, there is zero space in this thing. Like, it's very difficult. Like you might see this space and be like, yeah, you could add a HDMI out right here. Like there's just no space for it. Like there really isn't. It's small, it's compact, fits in the palm of your hand. You want to start adding more stuff, it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna obstruct people's views. A product for the future, potentially, but that's kind of like the reason why it doesn't exist now. Like you can only add so much. We just added, the 3.5 that wasn't in the Mevo Plus without really sacrificing much, size either, right? So you've got the Mevo Plus and the start, and it's really not that much more space, but we added the 3.5. So the more you add, the bigger it's going to be, the more inconvenient it's going to be because it's bigger. But I totally see why you would want it.
Yeah. And of course, it increases the price, and everybody loves the Mevo because it is such a great price. So
yeah. Actually, there was a conversation about it. I don't know if you guys have been on the Facebook group lately. I kind of live on there, but somebody had posted like they were like, I like it this, but I don't like it because of this. And then like a bunch of people started kind of like piling on what they liked and what they didn't like, which is cool. And someone goes, I wish it was this, but for the price of the Mevo. And it was like some $5,000, or no, I think it was like a $30,000 or $40,000 camera.
nice.
And it was funny. It was just like a sarcastic comment. Like, yeah, I would love all of those things too. But, you got to understand the price is going up when you do those things. Because like, it's not just the price of an HDMI cable or a HDMI port. You got to think of like the time it takes to engineer it, the time it takes to mold the parts, the new parts, how many iterations you have to go through. When it comes to working in hardware, and mind you, Mevo and Logitech were my first companies in hardware. So, when it comes to doing stuff like that, the amount of iterations it takes and the amount of money that gets thrown at, each iteration trying to test and make sure things are good, make a couple millimeter adjustments here, a couple millimeter adjustments there, like, and then the time it takes just to like keep costs down and make sure that you can produce these long term without things being discontinued. There's a lot of stuff that goes into what these engineers do, but they like the challenge. But I'm impressed. I think there's a lot more to what it takes to make a product than what a lot of people probably realize. At least for me. I don't know. I was kind of
Yeah,
surprised.
no, same for me. I had no idea until getting in touch with Logitech.
Yeah.
They just do it crazy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
wild. It's cool though. It's cool.
very cool.
Snowman says, "What is the latency differences between wireless webcam mode and NDI mode? Which is faster?"
So we talked about this a little bit on I think a couple shows ago.
Yeah, I
And
think so too.
I think it's pretty
Pretty
close.
close.
Yeah, like
Those two will fluctuate, but the one that will absolutely win is wired webcam mode. It's zero latency basically. I mean, there's probably some, but it's kind of funny. I don't know, and I'm gonna do it again right now. Yes. Okay. Funny story, and I think I posted about it. Do you have a preview up for your Mevo?
no, not right now.
Okay, so I have a tablet over here that's showing my camera.
Mhm.
And Joseph pointed this out and I confirmed it and I just did it again. But Melon actually sees the video before the Mevo app does.
Interesting. I mean
So
that makes sense.
so when I point, I see me pointing in Melon before the tablet actually sees it. It's crazy.
Are you doing wired webcam mode right now?
Yeah, so this is wired webcam mode. So basically zero latency, and then the tablet is wireless. So I mean, it makes sense, but it's just kind of trippy to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, wireless webcam mode, NDI mode, you're going to get fluctuations in speeds. Latency is not a static thing. It's going to depend on your network. It's going to depend on a lot of stuff going on. You're going to get mixed results, and one may be faster in some scenarios, and one may be slower in some scenarios. So, if you're really worried about latency, go wired. Even if it's not USB, do NDI over Ethernet, or even wireless webcam mode over Ethernet. Contrary to popular belief, you can run Ethernet and use wireless webcam mode. I know the name is wireless, but all the app cares about is that it's on the same network. It doesn't care how it's connected to the same network. Fun little trick. George says, "Hey y'all." Hey George. Reminds me of that song immediately. Hey y'all. It's a classic at this point. Let's see here. Scrolling. Ooh, here we go. And the new Mevo multicam app with picture-in-picture. Can I set the size and position for the pics free? Like free resizing? Like free movement? Is that what you're talking about? Like you can resize it freely without restriction? Like the Mevo.
So
I think that's what it is.
yeah.
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah. To be clear, there is no picture-in-picture at this time.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how that, I mean, I think that's everyone's dream, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Graham, the WA PC is still one of my favorite parts of these streams. I'm glad that we could do that for you. It's actually one of my. I catch myself looking at it sometimes too. It could be a little mesmerizing. Funny story. I just bought this house last year, and I got this purple wall, and I didn't think I'd like the purple wall, but now everything's purple. Everything's purple. It ends up coming out and looking pretty cool. I gotta figure out what to do with this window still, though. That's the thing. Let's see here. Oh, here's Norman telling us what it is. It's a conference room system with the rally bar.
Nice.
Wild. Let's see here. So we got. I really wish the Mevo app would allow programmable icons and a personalized menu like an audio mute icon, scene, intro movie, end movie. So like basically like a mini. Like, what is the? Let me see. Trying to think what it's called. Trying to think of what Logitech's
controls.
Yeah, doesn't Logitech have like a stream key thing?
I mean,
what's their application? What is it?
There's G keys.
No, I mean they have a mobile app that is like similar to the Stream Deck.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, yeah. So no, I mean that's a cool idea. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be awesome. I especially agree with at least the audio mute icon. Like to be able to mute your audio at the very least should be accessible, like readily accessible at all times.
Right.
Well, look,
we're seeing more and more people wanting to do that because of music and being at games and stuff. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of which, did you see I got an email this morning from Twitch saying
No.
that something about they um have an agreement with, what was it, Warner? One of the big names. Let me see if I can find it. Because
Letting
it was
you
about
play that music.
DMCA. Yeah, here it is. We've
That's
reached
pretty
an
sweet.
agreement with Universal Music Group, which is basically everybody who ever released music, because
Mhm.
you typically under them. That gives music fans on Twitch access to some of the world's most popular music artists by fostering the creation of channels for artists and labels and bringing exclusive music-based content to Twitch. As part of this agreement, UMG has also opted to follow our new music reporting process for reporting unauthorized use of music on Twitch, similar to the agreements with the Warner Music Group and all of these other things. So it seems like they're coming up with some agreements to allow some, more popular music to be played. I think it's got to be like music specific content though. Like I think it's got to
Mhm.
be like maybe somebody like playing a guitar and like doing a cover. Um, I think I'm not sure, but if there's more stuff to this that I'm not getting, this is more of a reason for everyone to go to Twitch.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting. I wonder if they started doing that because they saw how much money like services like Stream Beats are getting. Because
Yeah.
like they make everything royalty free, and then you can use them throughout all of your videos on YouTube, all of your live streams on Twitch, and everything like that. And they're making so much money.
Mm, gotcha. Yeah, it's like it just looks like they put like some kind of algorithm in place. It says like it recognizes not all unauthorized uses of music merits the same treatment and focuses on specific use cases that are most flagrant. This also more flexible and forgiving creators who inadvertently or incidentally include these rights holders' music in their stream and will result in creators receiving a warning before their first penalty. So it just looks like they're going to be more lenient, which is pretty cool. I
Yes.
recommend everybody go read up on that if you have any music and you're worried about muting. Because I mean, everyone knows you can't control your environment at all times.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look who it is.
There he is.
Oh,
What's up,
Fred.
man?
One of these days, Fred's going to expose his real name, and everyone's going to be like, "What?" That's how I was when I worked with him in his ticket. I was like, "What?" I was like, "How'd you come up with that then?"
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, because I shared this name with you guys. I was like, "You guys won't believe it."
Yeah.
I was- hey. Anyways, Norman says Windows 11 is releasing Android compatibility next month. Will the Mevo apps be compatible? Probably not.
Yeah, I would guess not, since
Mac did the
Windows
same
is,
thing.
well, yeah, Mac does the same thing, but also Windows is not doing straight up Android compatibility. It is only from the Amazon Android store. So
Oh yeah, and the Fire
anything,
tablets already
right,
have issues.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. Boom. I'm
so
glad you know about that. I didn't know anything about that.
I try.
But does that mean I get to play like, is it Clash of Clans? That's a
Yeah,
fun game.
probably. You
I used
probably
to play
could.
that a long time. Play it on my computer. I haven't played that in a long time. Anyways, it's a good question, Norman. Thanks for asking. Let's see here. Josh says remote is challenging as it times out after 5 minutes unless you keep the app open on your phone or tablet. Yes, I mean that's well for yeah. You're using your mobile device, so it needs to be active.
Mhm.
Uh, Art Whitaker says have lots of lights. How much does one of these cost? Is
It's
it $59.99?
yeah, 59.99.
Logitech. Yeah.
It's a crazy good price, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other competitive with the same light output, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Yeah, $59.99. It's sold out temporarily because we did pre-sales and they start shipping yesterday.
I'm not sure.
I thought it was the 26th for some reason. Maybe not. But you can sign up and on if you go to logitech.com and you look up Lightroom Glow or just Google Lightroom Glow and Logitech, it'll take you to the page. You can sign up to be notified when they're back in stock. So if you're interested in grabbing one, I recommend grabbing two personally. And like if I know this is probably sounds biased, but I would actually have three just so I could have one on each of my monitors. And then I have my third one if I need to take it anywhere. I don't need to disconnect anything.
Yeah.
Not that it's difficult to disconnect. It's a single USB-C cable, but you know, yeah. Norman says that video was exciting for lights. I love it. I love it. It's great. It's a great product. You think the video is good? The product's great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jared saying hello, hello. What's up, Jared? We are doing great. Both of us are sore, apparently, and tired, and old, and out of shape.
Facts all around, man.
All of those things. All of those things. Let's see here. Now, this is an interesting one because we've seen many debates that the first gen or the Mevo Plus was better than the Start because of the 4K sensor. And it's just not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. So Bratch says, and Bratch, if you don't mind letting us know, is your first initial B and then your last name like Ratch? Like, I'm trying to understand the. Anyways, as someone who had a pre-ordered first-gen Mevo, the Mevo Start is much more forgiving when it comes to zooming in poor light. Love my OG Mevo, but the Start is so much better. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Now, people get hung up on the 4K, and yes, it's a 4K sensor, but it's also like an 6, 7, 8-year-old 4K sensor. I mean, it was released in 2016. It was so, which means it probably took at least 2 years before that to actually develop it. So I mean, yeah, don't get hung up on numbers and specs. Like, actually, you got to understand, like, old HD of 2000s is not the same HD of 2022.
Facts.
It just looks better. It's better technology. If it wasn't, then the Samsungs, the Sonys of the world, they wouldn't have they wouldn't still be a business if they didn't have to buy new lenses and sensors and stuff.
Right. And the Start I think the Start has a slightly bigger sensor, and it was designed to be better in lower light situations.
Yeah, due to the feedback that we got about the first few. So yeah, absolutely. Jared loves the Batman. Batman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Norman says the out of many people don't do awesome live streams that we don't. Oh,
it's fair.
I was like, wait, what? You're talking about us specifically. They got an email. Send them an email. Snail mail. Let's get old. Let's do some snail mail.
There you go.
Let's see here. Josh Mailman says the new network interface seems to have changed the behavior of how Ethernet selection works. Mevo 3.x start on Mevo Ethernet, tablet and Wi-Fi same network. Always worked before December update. Now it only works by making the Mevo hotspot. What changed? It's always been the same. You've always had to put your Mevo and Mevo hotspot for it to use Ethernet. Yeah, it's always been the same.
It should, I think 3.0 or 3. Whatever, it does like automatically switch to Ethernet, and it'll put you in hotspot because that's the standard.
But there's also yeah, because it'll say we recognize Ethernet or something in like a small red label, and it says we recognize Ethernet. Tap here to switch, and then you just tap and it jumps over. But yeah, you've always technically always had to be in hotspot mode to use Ethernet. Nice says I still have the original. Don't know how I feel about it.
It's always good to upgrade.
Yeah, I mean I've got originals too, but where is my originals? Over here somewhere. I think they're like literally directly behind me. But yeah, it's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade. It's always nice for like a secondary shot, like if you need like a huge, like I remember when we did the live shows in the warehouse and we had that in the background. So when we were wrapping things up, we would play the music and they would just see us kind of putting our headphones away. And I always thought that was cool. It's a good secondary shot for sure.
Yeah.
Josh Hall says, have you already talked on it? Will y'all be able to have it where you can upload a video? Yes, we did. Yep. We did talk about it. You will be able to upload videos in while using Mevo Multicam. Do you sell replacement batteries for the Start? We do not. We do not sell any replacement parts for the Mevo Start. We do not recommend users taking the unit apart at all for your safety. The last thing you want to do is puncture a lithium battery.
Yeah, man.
What is a melon?
Melon is what we're using right now to bring in both video sources for Joe, who's at his home, and me at my home. It's very similar to something like StreamYard. And then from Melon, which is also just a completely web interface versus something on your computer like OBS or something like that. And then we're sending from the web interface on melonapp.com out to all of our streaming destinations on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Yep. It's wonderful.
It is really great.
Wonderful. I'll leave that link up here on the page, melonapp.com, so you guys can check that out. Where are we at? We're at 2:35. We're gonna have to start sprinting through these here soon. Let's see here. DJ Fuzz, I'm struggling to match color settings with my two Mevos. How about a setting that syncs that across Mevos? I have two starts. I mean, it's gonna be different. Like, they're not going to be. It's going to be very difficult to do like a match because, for example, you're pointing this camera at me, but if I was to turn this just a little bit, and I somehow matched or hit that light, it's going to adjust my collar. Like, so unless they're looking at the same exact thing, it's going to be difficult to use like the same exact settings and get the same results. You're gonna have to eyeball that. And luckily in the app, we do allow you to have like small minimal steps, like 0.1 at a time. So you can see those changes as you move forward. But yeah, syncing all the settings won't have the same effect if they don't have the same exact lighting from every angle.
Yeah.
So, Fred, does distance affect NDI connectivity strength?
Sure.
Yeah. Anything that needs the network, it's going to distance is going to play a part in it. If you're using Ethernet, you can go up to 300 feet though. Bernardo says, would you guys make a zoom lens attachment? We do live sales 4 times a week. That will help us show more details of the products. I don't know how we would attach a zoom lens product to the start.
Right.
Because there's like, it was never intended to have anything attached to it. But maybe in a future product, potentially. We kind of did some stuff, overhead shots, you know, in the warehouse where we would just have a light pointing down, and that kind of helped bring out the picture. And lighting is very important. I can't stress that enough when it comes to doing anything with video. Graham, it's beautiful. I'm hoping you're talking about the light or my computer. Either one. Either one.
Both.
Tim says, do you have any worries about audio sync issues? Not with Melon, luckily.
Right.
That's like a huge reason why we're using it. A huge reason we're using it is because we don't have to worry about audio sync. Like, you guys might not know this, but our jobs, unfortunately, don't revolve around the live show as much as we would love it to. So we don't get to spend as much time as we used to on the live show. We have a ton of stuff that we handled user testing, which means also, if you want to be part of user testing and give us your feedback on upcoming products, go to facebook.com, go to Mevo Camera or Mevo Customer Group, and sign up to be a tester. But we handle all user testing for all Logitech for Creator products that are either released, unreleased, packaging, directions, software. It could be anything. So we don't get to spend a lot of time on the show, and the last thing we wanted to do is stress about it and deal with audio sync issues. So Melon has taken all of that and allowed us to jump in and feel confident that our show is going to go smoothly.
Yep. That's another reason why we love wired webcam as well.
Yeah, it's just one less variable we got to mess with. It's just going to work.
Yeah.
George says, is it common to have a blur on the Mevo cam after a year use? Not that I'm aware of. I've not seen this issue before. If you are having an issue, go to help.mevo.com, open up a support ticket, and provide some pictures.
Yeah, I would also check to see if you don't have like a fingerprint on your lens.
Yeah, very important. Very important. Let's see here. Graham says, Twitch still says you can't play music on your stream, though. Yeah, I don't know what the announcement was today and what those changes mean, but it sounds like it's a good step in the right direction. This is a new one.
What would be the best connection from a Mevo Start to the projector? We are currently using a Mevo as a webcam to stream via StreamYard. Our plan is to extend the video to another building. Um, let's see.
So they want to output the video to the webcam, or they want to include. Wait, I mean, they want to output the Mevo to a projector.
We are currently using a Mevo as a webcam to stream. Oh, I think they want to do. So I had a ticket about this once where somebody wanted to. They had like a breakout version or a breakout area of their house of worship, and they had a TV there, so they wanted to show what the Mevo was capturing, both to the stream, but also to those extra people in the other room. So I think that's what he's talking about, and
I would just play the stream.
yeah, I'd say play the stream. Obviously, there's going to be like a little bit of a delay doing that,
But if
but
they're in a different room, it would be kind of irrelevant, right?
yeah, I would think so. Another way you could do it is you could do NDI output. You can use what is it, NDI Studio Monitor on your computer and then project that. But yeah, it would be super easy to just
Play the stream.
play the stream. Yeah.
That's like, let's don't overcomplicate it. Not really necessary. Snowman says, will there ever be a weatherproof version of the Mevo Start, like rubber plugs for all the ports on the back? I would love to see it because I know a lot of people use it for sports. Spring's coming up. Spring balls is a very wet time of year. Yeah, I'm not sure. DJ Fuzz says, does Melon allow a live chat window where comments scroll automatically? No. But I will tell you this, that we are working directly with the Melon team, and that will be one of our requests. Like, we would love to see it ourselves as well, because we like to see everybody, because you can't see everything going on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Right.
We can see everything, but if you're on one of the channels and no one's talking in it, then you don't. We just look like we're talking to ourselves.
That's true.
And there's Jared switching from YouTube to Twitch just to.
What's up, Twitch?
Let's see here. Ramirez says, you guys talked about multicam app connecting to Zoom. I missed the proposed solution. Sorry. Connect all to one computer and do the switching from there. Yeah. Connect all of them to Streamlabs, and you can use Streamlabs virtual webcam output from Streamlabs, and that'll allow you to basically use anything that you do in Streamlabs will output to Zoom.
You gotta do like a sprint through these.
Yeah, we really do. All
right.
Here's one.
Is there a button I can push or something to exit out of my phone and run multicam? Like to keep the app on but answer text or something. It always shuts off the stream, but I'm on an iPhone. That is why. You can only leave the multicam app in Android.
Yep.
And it'll run in the background, but unfortunately with iOS, it's just a limitation that can't be bypassed.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not. It's not a Mevo limitation. It's one that's introduced by iOS, which is why you can do it on Android. Right. We could care less if it's in the foreground or background, but iOS cares.
Yep.
Art, I can't put this on the screen, but I agree with you. The Mevo Start is a superior camera. Bratch says last name is Bratcher, so Bratch is the nickname. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Let's just scroll. How can we portrait? Here we go. DJ Fuzz, how can you portrait mode on Mevo Start? What app or program can I use? You can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
You could put your Mevo Start on its side and then rotate the image in OBS, but that's a little bit more complex.
Yeah, it's extra work. It's not a plug and play, not a native solution.
Right.
Brad says we had very long discussions on how to hook audio and power to the OG Mevo and Facebook group before you hooked up with the company.
Nice.
I've betrayed the community. I like to think that I'm doing good stuff. Scrolling down, there's a lot of conversations going on. Norman says, happy the Mevo first gen still compatible. Absolutely, we are as well, and we don't plan on abandoning those as far as support goes. Josh says, thanks fellas for the videos. Glad to help. Absolutely glad to help. Snowman says, so you have to buy a new camera when the battery dies. We've not seen a camera die or battery die from the Mevo first gen that was released in 2016. So I mean, we've got Mevo first gens that are running strong. So I wouldn't expect to have to deal with that anytime soon.
Yeah, but that's accurate.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah, but yes, you would, if your battery did somehow die, it would you would have to buy a new one. Unless it's under warranty. But like I said, Ben Vector, can you stream to multi-destinations through Melon without additional providers? Yes. Melon does do multi-destination in their packages. You can go to melonapp.com and check out their prices. And you can start for free for a single destination, 3 guests, I think. There's a bunch of other things, but I would definitely go check it out. Jared says lithium batteries take forever to fully die. You're 100% correct. I know like Teslas have them. If they were something you'd have to worry about, then you would just have those cars falling all over the place.
Yeah.
Let's see here. DJ Fuzz, now I want to know who the Fred the Hippo is. I think Will Smith. Fred is Fred. Sorry, Fred. Sorry to let everybody know you got a cool name. Joseph P says he's watching Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Twitch looks the best. Yes, everybody jump to Twitch. If like, yeah, I see a future where we're only on Twitch, so I would recommend checking it out. And I see a future where Twitch just, if you don't know, Twitch is owned by Amazon. So at a certain point, they're probably just going to take over the live streaming space entirely.
Got the money too, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Scroll. Oh, look, we're at the end. Just some suggestions. Think y'all got to run. Thanks, Dave, for tuning in. Mr. Flex, is there a way to control delay? There's a variance there, unfortunately. So, like, there's a lot of things that play part in delay and latency. For example, we're using wired webcam, no latency. If you use wireless, can't control the latency. Yeah. It's just going to depend on how fast your traffic moves. Wonderful. Well,
nice, right on time.
Yeah, we did it. Let me hide this. Cool. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to Mevo Live. We go live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Mevo Camera on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for asking questions. Once again, if you have any questions, go to help.mevo.com, open up a support ticket. Our support team would be happy to help. If you want to be part of our testing pool to give us feedback on upcoming Logitech products, that includes Mevo, Blue Microphone, Streamlabs, Lytra, all of those really great names that you're grown to love. If you want to give some feedback on upcoming things, go to facebook.com, Mevo customer group, check out the announcements, sign up through the Google forum, and we will reach out. But until Tuesday at 2 p.m., we will see you all next time. Thanks. Everybody.